Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Judith Patterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas, and today is Friday. Fridays, I like to share how I would create a card from the catalog. I think Stampin' Up's catalogs, as you know, if you've watched my previous Friday videos, I think that they are the best place to find inspiration for new cards. Sometimes I create the cards exactly as they are in the catalog. Sometimes I change things up a little bit. Sometimes I change them up to where they're pretty much unrecognizable as a card from the catalog without some study. So today's card, I'm just making a small little change. The original dimensions for this card, as shown in the catalog, are 3 1/8 of an inch by 4 inches and an eighth. So it's kind of an odd card size, and I decided why not make it just a little bit bigger. And basically I'm just making the background pieces bigger and using the note cards that you can get from Stampin' Up. So our note cards are 3 1/2 inches by 5 inches, and that's the smallest size that you can just throw a stamp on and mail in the US. So I think it's a great card size if you're wanting to do a smaller card, because that way you can just toss it in a gift bag or throw a gift card in it, or just the card and hand it to somebody, or you can go ahead and throw a postage stamp on it and put it in the mailbox. I also think that this is a great size card because our note cards come with envelopes. You get 20 note cards and 20 envelopes per pack for just $7, so it's a great deal. And while I'm talking about great deals, it's celebration time. So that's exciting. The stamp set that I'm using is this Rainbow of Happiness stamp set. So sweet. And then I'm using the Brilliant Rainbow dies that coordinate with the stamp set. And the designer series paper that I'm using today is the Sunshine. I just went blank. I have it right here. I'm going to look at it. Sunshine and Rainbows, of course, designer series paper. It's a 6x6 pack. You get, I believe, 48 sheets of the 6x6. That was right. And, of course, all the pages are double-sided. Coordinates beautifully with the Rainbow of Happiness bundle. But the cool thing is, so the bundle is $44 in the US. The note cards are $7. So that means that's $51 of product. So just by buying the Rainbow of Happiness bundle, which is these two pieces here, and then the note cards, you have enough to get the Sunshine and Rainbows designer series paper for free. So, not a bad deal. And if you are interested in doing that, of course, I have shopping links in the description. My website is judithpatterson.net. And I would love it if you would pick me as your demonstrator. But also, you only have until February 28th. And sometimes designer series paper starts selling out before quite the end of the celebration. So just something to keep in mind. But I'm really excited about this whole suite of products. Well, I guess it's not really a suite, but set. All the coordination. I love all the coordination in Stampin' Up. All right, enough talking. Let me flip the camera and we'll start making our card. So when you get the note cards, of course, you have your envelope all ready to go. But the note card is flat. It is scored. I don't know if you can see that scoring line. Let's see if, yeah, the camera's just not picking it up. Okay, but it is scored. So I'm just going to fold it in half on that scoring line. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my bone folder because I like this thing. And I'm going to give it a good crease. And then I'm just going to go ahead and grab this 3 1/2 inch by 5 inch piece of designer series paper. I already cut it down. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the front of my card just so these pieces are together and I don't have to think about it. Sometimes my desk gets a little crazy while I'm stamping and I start losing pieces. I'm trying to keep all the chaos on the edges this time so that y'all don't see how messy I am while I stamp. All right, so I'm just going to set that to the side. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my basic white cardstock. It's cut 4¼ inches by 2½ inches. And then I'm going to get that rainbow edge die. And I'm going to use, you can use washi tape or post-it tape, anything that isn't going to be permanent. So anything you can pull up easily. I'm just going to use that to hold that down. And I'm even going to grab an extra little piece. I have some really small post-it tape. This is 1/6 of an inch, so it is really little. And I'm just going to use one piece of it just right here on my actual cardstock to keep it from moving as well. So starting with Magenta Madness, I have all of these little small pieces on blocks already. So I'm going to start with Magenta Madness, and I'm going to try to stay under each little rainbow as much as possible. And I'm just going to randomly stamp these images. And there's no rhyme or reason. It really truly is just random. So between colors, especially when you're going from light to dark, you want to clean your stamps. I have a paper towel that's damp up here on my desk that I'm just dabbing some of the ink off. And then I'll use my chamois, especially when I'm using these going from bright to light. So the next color is Pool Party. So I definitely need to clean my stamp between Magenta Madness and Pool Party so I don't stain my ink. So something else to think about, or not think about, I guess just something I wanted to let you know is the reason why I use a paper towel in between stamping with my chamois. Because I could just stamp or clean straight on my chamois. I don't have to use a paper towel in between. However, if I were to not clean off every time, then my chamois would get really inky really quickly. And I lost my train of thought. My chamois would get inked up real quick, and then I would just have to clean it more often. So there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't want to have to clean it all the time. I'm going to go sideways with these dots this time. Okay, so again, I need to clean. And I don't know if y'all can tell on screen, but my pool party is looking pretty funny. This is an old pad, like so old we don't even carry this style of pad anymore that slides up like that. This is the newer style that we have been carrying for several years now. So I think I just need, I've never re-inked that pad in 5 or 10 years. I don't know how long I've had it. But I think it's time. And I also think I'm going to have to order a re-inker because I don't think I have the pool party re-inker. I don't know how that happened. So re-inking ink pads is really easy and it keeps them lasting basically forever. And one bottle of refill ink lasts, I don't even know how long it lasts because I've been stamping for 17 years and I've never run out of an ink refill ever. Even on my favorite colors, I've never run out of an ink refill. And I use them for more than just refilling my ink pads. So the last color is Mango Melody. And since it's just a darker shade of yellow, I'm not going to clean them. I'm just going to keep stamping. So I'm going to do this one first. Okay, so I'm going to add one more heart right at the top. And let's see how that does. If it's not enough for whatever reason, we can always add more. Okay, so I'm going to pull these off. I'm not finished yet. I knew it was looking funny. Okay, how did I have that lined up? That looks right. No, it doesn't. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and clean these off. We still need to do Magenta Madness one more time. And the order of the order that you use the colors, the ink colors, is important because we're going to be lining them up with a piece of the Designer Series paper in just a minute. There's a piece in that Sunshine and Rainbows DSP that is wide strips of these colors. Pretty handy. That can go there. Put some hearts there. Some raindrops there. More dots there. I'm going to go ahead and do more stripes there and then more hearts just right by those other ones. Whoa. There we go. Okay, so now we should really be through with that. All right, so I'm finished with the Pool Party and the So Saffron. I'm going to put those to the side. And now, I'm pulling this up, leaving the tape on it, but I'm taking the tape off of this one. So I've got my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. I'm going to get plate number 1, plate number 2. Getting my piece of cardstock that I just stamped. And then, so it's important that the stamped side is up. And I'm going to line this up to where the top is almost to the edge. And hopefully the ink colors are kind of lining up underneath each little rainbow. I think they're pretty close. Okay, so then I'm going to put my other number 2 plate on top. Ooh, it almost launched right off my desk. Okay. So just poke out the rest of those little pieces. Then I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. And I'm lining this up where the 2 rainbows meet. And I'm just going to cut one off. And then on this other side, I'm going to do the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rainbows is what we need. So I'm going to cut that one off. Looks pretty good. Then I'm going to grab that piece of designer series paper I was talking about. So this piece I'm going to cut to 1.5 inches. Had to think about that for a minute. Then I'm going to cut off the edge here where the pink is, the Magenta Madness, and then the other Magenta Madness. Then the next step is to grab that card base that we were using earlier. I'm going to go ahead and grab my mat, my silicone mat. I just like to have it when I'm using adhesive. I'm going to put some liquid glue on the back of this designer series piece, and I want to make sure that it's going in the same order as my colors. So I want Magenta Madness and then Pool Party next. And I want it fairly close to the top. I want it centered as good as I can get it, side to side, and then just a little bit closer to the top than it is to the sides. That makes sense. So I'm going to use my liquid glue on the back of this piece. Before I glue that down, I see a little piece that's just going to bug me. So I don't know if you can see it. See how that is just hanging off right there? So I'm going to use my paper snips and just clean that edge up a little bit. Okay, so I want this to line up with those lines. I want it to be as straight as I can get it. All right, that looks good. And then I have a piece that is 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches of basic white cardstock. And I have this stamp that says, "You make me happy." I'm going to get my Bermuda Bay ink, ink that up real good, and then just stamp that on the center of that piece of basic white cardstock. So next, I have a piece, it's an 8-inch piece of Pool Party sheer ribbon. So I'm going to use it and my tear and tape. There it is. So I'm going to get about 3 inches or so, not quite 3 inches of tear and tape, because I want it to fit. I want it to be hidden by the sentiment piece. So I'm going to find my middle. Middle's about there. I'm going to have to trim that edge off again. So I'm going to put this towards the top. Then I'm going to grab another piece, make it about the same size, put it right underneath. And this is why that silicone mat is so handy. So I want these two to overlap a little bit. I think that's going to be good for tape. All right, so I'm going to bring this down here, so about 1/2 inch below this, below the solid edge right here. Then I'm going to trim these ends. Trim that one. Trim that one. They just got kind of messy. So then I'm going to use my Stampin Dimensionals. And I'm going to use several. I'm going to put them, it's upside down, but I'm putting them at the top. What is the top once it turns over. And I'm going to go ahead and use 3 of them. Should be enough to hold this little piece down. Oh, here we go. I knew I needed another piece for some reason. I just couldn't remember. So this top piece is holding the 2 pieces together, but I need a piece behind it. There we go. So I'm just going to tuck this right under there. Okay, and then I'm going to place this over all of that. All right, and then this is my favorite part. I love these brushed brass butterflies. These are also from the new mini catalog, and they're my favorite. Butterflies are my favorite. So we're going to use 5 of these bad boys and girls. So one there. We'll put one here. Going to grab another one of these big ones, and I'll put it here. Then I'm going to grab another couple of little ones and just add those down there. And now the front of the card is complete. And look at that, my desk ended up getting messy again. Really trying, y'all. Really trying to be tidy. I just get excited. Okay, so there is our card. And on note cards, I typically don't put a lot in the inside because you're already limited on writing space. But the envelope, that's fair game. So I'm gonna use these individual pieces of rainbow, and I'm gonna stamp, oh, here's my other one. I'm gonna stamp a rainbow on the flap. I'm starting with the biggest one, and I'm putting it where one edge is coming off of the flap, and I just don't want it to, I don't mind if it hangs off, but I don't want it to go over this top edge and then have this weird random stamp on the front of the envelope. That would be awkward. I don't want awkward. Okay, so there's the middle piece, and it's handy that these are clear because you can get them lined up pretty good. Of course, they don't have to be perfect. but pretty close. Then I'm going to use that Mango Melody for the smallest one. But then, after that's stamped, I'm going to go back in. There's a teeny tiny thank you stamp. So I'm going to use it right here in the center of the rainbow. Isn't that perfect for the decorative envelope to match the card? Oh, there's such a glare. Okay. And there you go. All right. So I hope that you liked this one. I am loving all of the cards that are in the celebration brochure. And I'm pretty sure that the next few weeks, maybe even through February, we'll see. But I know that there's going to be quite a few cards from the celebration brochure. I'm not even going to the catalog yet. I'm starting with that celebration brochure and getting as many of those in there as I can before we run out of time with celebration, because it doesn't last long. If you have any questions about celebration or about the card we made or anything in the catalogs or Stampin' Up wise, if you have joining questions, right now is a great time to join. If you join Stampin' Up during celebration, then you get to pick 2. Let me check this before I say it, because I feel like it's wrong. But I think I'm right. We're going to see. That was the wrong button. Yes. Okay. So during celebration, you get 2 free stamp sets from the annual catalog or the mini catalog. You get to choose any stamp set when you join Stampin' Up. And joining, it is good. It is fun. So when you join, it's $99 to join. You pick $125 of free product. Well, not free. I mean, you're paying for it, but you get $125 in product that you choose, is what I'm trying to say. It's not chosen for you. You get to choose it. And then you get, during celebration, you get to pick 2 additional stamp sets. Plus, on your orders from that point on, you get a minimum of 20% off of every order that you put in. So that's nice. And you don't even have to place an order for several months to stay active. And when you're active as a demonstrator, then you get, behind the scenes fun. You get to pre-order from catalogs. And when specials come up, sometimes, like if there's a special item that might be coming out next month, then you can pre-order it now if you're a demonstrator. And it's just a great community, lots of support, lots of very creative people that you can learn from. I highly recommend it. So if you would like to join my team, then I would love to have you on it. And there is a link down below if you want to do that, or you can contact me if you have questions about it. I'm here. I'm happy to answer those questions. Or if you have any questions, like I said, about celebration, or if there's a card from one of the current catalogs or the Stampin' Up brochure that you're just dying to see made, let me know, and I'll do my best to get that done for you. All right, y'all have a happy weekend. Happy stamping.